You should dress up like me, yes?
That would be awkward.
The Ashley Madison hacking scandal has yet to die down. You guys are still searching for details on Google and Facebook, and now the massive data dump of member info may have taken a truly tragic turn.
We have 2 unconfirmed reports of suicides that are associated because of the leak of Ashley Madison's customers' profiles. Criminals have already engaged in online scams by claiming to provide access to the leaked websites. The public needs to be aware that by clicking on these links, you are exposing your computers to malware, spyware, adware, and viruses.
The release of tens of millions of account holder names from the cheating website has put marriage into the spotlight, leading our very own Dr. Drew Pinsky to ask, is this what married life has come to?
Don't get married if you don't want to get married. You don't have to get married, but don't have babies out of wedlock either, which is somehow people feel like that's what the alternative is. Look, take your time, pick somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with, who you actually love, whom you would not treat somebody you love like this. You wouldn't do that. So, and you wouldn't attack your kids, who you also claim to love. Stop it, everybody. Be adults about this. You make a sanctified vow in front of God and everybody, and then you just crap all over it. Really? Is that the world we live in now?
Well, that is the big question, and joining me now to help discuss, sex therapist Dr. Chris Donahue and Mandy Statmiller, who describes herself as a mistress trifecta. Mandy, I'm going to start with you. Thanks to both of you for joining us, by the way. Your father was the product of an affair. You yourself had an ex-husband who cheated on you, and you have admitted to having an affair with a married man, yet you still believe that monogamy exists. How is that possible?
Oh, absolutely. I'm in a committed relationship right now, and I think that it all comes down to having a really harshly honest discussion with your partner so that the two of you can acknowledge temptations, acknowledge the ways that you might go down a path that could lead to infidelity. And if you are rigorously, brutally honest with your partner, monogamy is absolutely possible. I think it's harder if you are just lying to yourself and lying to your partner, and that's where everyone goes wrong. They say, "Oh no, I'm not attracted to other people."
Right.
"Oh no, I'm not tempted."
Well, obviously,
but we're all tempted.
Yeah, being honest with yourself is the prerequisite to being honest with someone else, and clearly you do not believe in the once a cheater, always a cheater. Dr. Donahue, I want to bring you in now. You are the professional, and yet you're the one joining us today saying that you don't believe monogamy is possible.
Yeah, it's a little shocking to some people, but, we're living longer and we're expecting to be able to be with one partner sexually for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and that's just not realistic. And I think the Ashley Madison situation is reminding us that we have to consider other relational options as equally healthy.
Yeah, you're talking about open marriages, possibly, I assume, which is,
Absolutely.
A little avant-garde.
It's a little avant-garde, but you know what? We're dating ourselves. The younger generations aren't as interested in monogamy, and they're really not needing it. And marriage is going to kind of find its way out. It's not working. We have our highest divorce rate and our highest cheating rate, and we really need to consider other options. And so the younger generations coming up are seeing that. Marriage is not working, and they're not necessarily feeling as though they have to engage in that. And that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, Mandy, I want to go back to you. Do you feel like this is a problem, insofar as the way many people look at it, that is equal for both men and women, a challenge?
Well, I mean, honestly, I think that men have more of a biological drive to want to, spread their seed, so to speak. But I have a very high sex drive, and I'm certainly, making a concentrated choice when I'm choosing monogamy. This is how jaded I am. I almost took a job working for Noel at Ashley Madison.
Wow.
I am completely not a Pollyanna when it comes to this subject, but I almost think that the way that everyone now is cynical and snarky, and it's so boring and it reads as so much noise, if someone's earnest and authentic, that's what stands out.
Yeah.
And I have to say, monogamy is almost the most scandalous thing you can do.
Right. Well, Dr. Donahue, I want to go back to you because Mandy touched on something. She talked about the biology, and for men in particular, needing to spread your seeds. We have evolved in so many other ways as a society, as a civilization. And so sometimes, I have a tough time buying that argument that, like, oh, it's in our DNA. What can we do? We just need to go out and bed down as many women as possible.
Good. You shouldn't buy that. That's lazy and kind of dated, and gender doesn't hold like that. There's no universal gender norms, and both men and women are equally sexual, and both of them struggle with some of this. Look, people have committed suicide over this. They're failing at something that you're expected to fail at. 60 to 70% of relationships have someone cheat. That's expected. There shouldn't be shame around it. We should work on talking about what wasn't happening for you in the relationship that might need to change so you feel more comfortable staying and being monogamous, or giving people the confidence to say their partner of 10 or 20 years, I love you, I want to be with you, but the configuration we have now no longer works for me. But it's definitely not about gender.